Righty, we've been offline for about 6 hours-ish. I hope you didn't miss us too much. But we're back now. Well, actually, a couple more hours than that. I misread the schedule. It's going pretty well. It's morning over here. Welcome, everybody, to the Osu Catch World Cup 2024. We are on Sunday now. We're going to follow the second half of the campaign here of all the countries that participate. I am here with Maito. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing very well, Sart, and I'm glad to have you on here with me, and we're looking at a nice matchup here between Belgium and the Philippines. A larger seed discrepancy than the last time that I casted, which was China and the Netherlands. But I'm still very excited to see how both of these teams perform. I think it would be a good match where hopefully the Philippines can take some points off of Belgium, and it won't be a sweep because I don't know. No one likes to see a sweep.
I wouldn't
like,
hope
unless
so
you're
either.
Belgian.
Well,
You probably would.
I mean,
But in any case, I'm doing well and I'm excited.
that's good to see. They've already gone on to pick a ban, seemingly. Philippines is going to be picking Mixed Mod 2 first here. I'm pretty sure they got the second. No, actually, Belgium was to ban second, banning Hidden 1, and the Philippines banned No Mod 3. So we can already kind of see the strategy, the cogs turning in both of the heads of the Belgians and the Philippines. And it's going to be Mixed Mod. I think Mixed Mod is actually such a nice bracket for a lot of teams this year, because most of the time you'll have at least one specialist somewhere, right? One hard rock specialist, one hidden specialist. So it's definitely a way for the lower bracketed teams to try and overcome hurdles, and especially the larger teams, the better teams, try and give them a bit of a run for their money. So it's also a strategy that we tried to use against China in yesterday's match, so I recognize it that way.
Yeah, it's definitely a good strategy, as you said, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure what else to add on to that one, to be honest. That's a pretty accurate description of what Mixed Mod is to these lower seeded teams. Just gives them a bit of an opportunity to kind of compete at a more even level with some of those much higher kind of top level squads, kind of like Belgium, and compared to the Philippines here. So it's a good pick to start off for them, and it'll be interesting to see how they get on with this one and which players they will field for each mod. I'm actually not entirely too sure of their team composition and kind of their players for this tournament, to be honest. Of course, dropping quite a bit of firepower since last year, where they had those absolute monsters in their squad.
Yeah, certainly, indeed. At least they have Kielzu left, who's very likely going to be the hard rock player. It seems to be that case too, which is logical. He was one of the remaining players from last year, one of the best players in the Philippines, and they truly had a dream team last year. I think they got 4th place in the entire tourney. It's very likely not going to be the same this year, unfortunately, but at least for Mixed Mod compositions, they still have a fairly decent roster. Belgium, on the other hand, very good all-round players, so we can expect some shifting around depending on the map, the Mixed Mod map too. I think none of them are banned, so perhaps we'll see a couple more in due time. But for now, we're going to see if Philippines will be able to defend their first pick in this match, where they certainly are the underdog, especially if we look at the predictions here in the Osu live chat. Only 1% putting their coins onto the Philippines side. I wonder if there's going to be a possibility for an upset here. Let's get it.
Yep, here we go. First point between Belgium and the Philippines in the round of 32. Not much faith for the Filipinos here, but this is definitely one of those points where they have the greatest chance. I feel like going to be looking out for the hidden and hard rock players, especially hidden with this map that is really a big challenge on that mod. And then you can see there's already a miss coming down from Liam. Jean is going to be their adversary for Hidden and Cake Noob and Kielzu going to be rocking those hard rocks, and Jesse and Mawal going to be on just no mod. And there we go, Mawal actually going to be another drop for the Philippines. Already Belgium has a healthy lead.
Yeah, maybe some initial turning nerves there from both Mawal and Langs. Both not as experienced as the other players in this lobby. Kiel's still doing very well over there on the top slot. And yeah, 2 misses are going to give Belgium a bit of a lead now. About 80,000 points actually. That's quite big, but very manageable still. I mean, it's very possible for Belgium to miss twice, especially considering this map is still fairly rough and hidden. As you can see, Zine there missing. First miss there for the Belgian side. AR 8.6, not a skill that a lot of people develop these days. Low AR hidden, that is. So, plenty more misses abound maybe. Unless they've practiced really well. Yep, and the score gap definitely closing up a little now.
Yep, from that miss from Zin now. But, oh, Kielzu drops the FC. Now, no FCs left on the side of the Philippines. Mawal does have a nice combo along with Liam GG's, but look at all of the Belgian side. Zin coming back up, but no, actually, Cake Noob finds another miss, and a quarter of the map left to go. With that miss, could there be a comeback for the Philippines? That score is actually dropping incredibly fast now. There is for sure enough time for the score lead to actually flip over. It keeps keeping just decreasing more and more. It's almost back down.
I think the Belgians are going to have to find one more miss in order for the Philippines to be able to take it back. It's going to be Mawal and Cake Noob to drop simultaneously, however, so that score lead is going to remain very similar. Cake Noob with another miss there right at the end. Spinner battle to go, and oh my goodness, we have a really close one right from the get-go. The Philippines taking it with only 700 points. Oh, that just crashed right at the end for Belgium. Goodness.
Cake Noob just completely collapsing in the last part of that map, and Philippines deals that point from what looked like Belgium was going to hold on just barely, but no. What a first point, and that is a great start now for the Philippines. Would have been very disparaging for them to lose their first pick, but no, they are the team to hit the scoreboard first. Belgium now has to follow that up with a pick of their own, and it's going to be Hard Rock 1, Ironical Parade, the very standard consistency Hard Rock, and you can see El Skefe or Clinton coming in here now, as well as Mike Cuban.
Yeah, I mean, the Belgian Hard Rock roster is still very solid, so we never should underestimate this, but Cake Noob might be flustered a little bit after those misses right at the end on their first Hard Rock pick. Well, it was their only first Hard Rock pick, obviously. It's mixed mod, so Kielzu and Cake Noob being warmed up a little bit here. In general, the Belgian team does have a stronger Hard Rock roster than the Philippines, but ooh, the 700 point difference gotta sting a little bit at least, so let's see if they are going to be as stable as we are used to from the Belgian team, and whether the Philippines might be able to extend the lead even further. That's very unlikely, but could just very much happen after such a close game like that.
Yeah, there's less. There was even it was even less than 700. It was only 430 score. I mean, you can't get much closer than that.
Wow.
That is one of the most electric starts to a match that I've seen so far. At least in the matches that I've had the pleasure of watching. And let's see if we can have another close point here on Hard Rock 1. Both teams, I would say that maybe Belgium has a bit more Hard Rock firepower. I'm not too sure on the Philippines Hard Rock strength. I'd have to pull up their qualifier results. But in any case, here we go. Belgium, Philippines, point 2. Belgium hoping to get themselves on the board after that bit of a heartbreak of a point, just barely losing out with this Hard Rock consistency, which they should be pretty strong at.
This is not the toughest of maps by any means, so the Philippines could very well find a couple of full combos here too. We do have to see that happen still. And again, Belgium maybe a little flustered. It could be very close once more. entering the 100 combo range. Everybody's still holding on, and it's a very stable, consistent map. There's a couple of key eyes where the difficulty raises just a little bit, but that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's about your nerve control, about your platter control, which these people all should be very proficient at.
Yep, definitely. No misses at all, actually. Not even any accuracy drops so far. Dead even between Belgium and the Philippines right now. Nothing to separate them except that drop miss. That droplet miss now from Potemkin is finally going to give the smallest of leads to Belgium, but that's going to be a much bigger one now. Moal finds the first miss of the match, and Belgium with another early lead here. Quarter of the map has surpassed us, and they are all still going strong. So are Potemkin and Kielzu, but as Moal finds another miss, that lead for Belgium is just going to keep increasing.
Yeah, those are the nerves kicking in for sure. Moal and Potemkin both also having a bit less platter control from what I can see compared to the other players. Elskefa, however, misses there for Belgium, so the scoreline is going to decrease a bit in the advantage of Philippines, but many more misses are bound again. Cake Noob and Potemkin missing. That means that the scoreline will remain fairly similar. Belgium still has a bit of a higher total combo here, meaning that the score advantage will likely raise up to about 80,000 points, but nothing quite lost yet there for the Philippines side. Seems that Belgium isn't quite invincible on Hard Rock either.
No, those two misses from Cake Noob and Elskefe giving Philippines a little bit of hope here, but still, Belgium with a nice lead, especially with that FC still held by My Cutie. It's Cutie versus Kielzu right now to see which player can hold on to their FC. Will they hold it down for their teams? Kielzu especially needs to keep holding on to that combo, and now it's really just a waiting game between the two teams now. Who will be the next player to miss? The score is dead set at 47k, but no, with that miss from Potemkin, it is now growing even larger for Belgium. Potemkin finds another miss, and it's growing exponentially now. Belgium's lead keeps looking more and more insurmountable as it just keeps on growing, and this is not looking very good for the Philippines with less than a quarter of the map left to go. All of their players have stabilized on the side of Belgium, and this is really looking dire now. I think Belgium's going to be able to take their first point and get themselves on the board, even out that score.
Yeah, very certainly they can, unless they were to drop the entire team there and miss a couple of notes each, which very likely won't happen. Big score difference here. Seemingly they got the nerves under control right when it was necessary. 100k points of difference-ish, a little less than that. Spinner battle doesn't really even matter anymore. That's going to be their first point on the scoreboard. Yeah, nice full combos there too from My Cutie and Kielzu. Stable performance is all you need on something like a group stage map. Well, it's not group stage, it's round of 32, but it's all terminology, obviously. I'm an old person. It's gonna go to the Philippines side now to pick, and it's gonna be Mixed Mod 1. Very quick picks there. So again, Mixed Mod seemingly gonna be the strongest weapon in the arsenal from the Philippines. As we've already somewhat discussed, it's a very nice way for teams in the lower echelons of the bracket, especially around like the 20s-ish, where there's mostly like a certain very strong style player to be able to pick up Hard Rock or something. It's a very nice way for these teams to try and compete against the stronger teams too, because, well, Nomad is going to be fairly easy on these types of picks because they are mostly tethered towards the Hard Rock player and the hidden player, meaning that if you have two very strong players on your roster out of 6, then you will be very competitive on these types of maps still, and definitely almost as competitive as even the stronger teams with like seeds difference of like 10 places. In this case, it's going to be 9 Belgium at 12th seed compared to the 23rd seed there for the Philippines. And as we already saw, a 400-point difference was able to give Philippines their first point on the first Mixed Mod pick. So they're going to have to try and repeat that once more. I'm sure they're very eager to.
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be a very nice pick for the Philippines here. Hopefully, for them at least. Yeah, Mixed Mod Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, especially in those teams kind of in that range that you talked about, where most of them have those role players for each mod, like Hidden and Hard Rock, where they can step up and produce good results to match up to these higher seeded teams in the bracket. So I think we're going to see another really close point here. My Cutie comes in for the Hard Rock, where Cake Noob was before. I think Jesse and Zine staying in the same slots, and all of the Philippines roster remains the same for mixed mods. So here we go. Everyone in the correct slots. Hard Rock players up the top, Hidden players on the right, and No Mod sitting there on the left. It's going to be another fierce battle here. The onus of keeping up that competitiveness is more on the Hard Rock players here. It's definitely more of a Hard Rock oriented map, testing, reading, and kind of more platter control capabilities. So watch out for Cutie and Kielzu as we get into this Mixed Mod 1 pick here.
It's not a very easy map on Hidden either. Honestly, in our own team, we were mostly concerned about the Hidden player compared to the Hard Rock player. So you might want to have an eye on those Hidden players on the very right bottom as well, Zine and Liam's. Also, from what I just read in chat, there might be some extra conditions which Marvel will have to deal with eventually. There seems to be a power outage in the part of the Philippines where they live. 12 hours without power and only 25 minutes of battery life left on their laptop. So hopefully that's not going to be a hindrance to them eventually in this game. And that will be very unfortunate. For now, everybody holding on to a full combo, so it's not tolling it in his mind too much. And they're going to move into that first KI very nicely. 400 combo on everyone's board, except for Marwile now missing. Might have cursed him a bit. Kielzu following that up too. And suddenly, Belgium with a fairly stark lead.
Yep, they've got another good lead for themselves after the first few misses of the map. My Cutie does trade half of that back, but with those two misses from the Philippines, it might have actually been even more. It's
Third
just going
miss there from Marwile
to...
too, yeah.
Yeah, the miss from Marwile coming down yet again, and it's a nice lead yet again for Belgium. They are just working their way up to take this mixed mod point right now. Philippines looking a lot less comfortable on this one than mixed mod 2, at least compared to their opponents in Belgium here, who look super comfortable. Only that single miss from My Cutie. Jesse and Jean still going really strong with a third of the map left to go. Jean does finally find a miss here, and it's actually Jesse along with Liam who are the only two FCs left in the lobby. Cutie drops again, and that lead is suddenly darkly dropping back down to the Philippines side.
Marwile is going to follow up the Belgian misses with a miss of their own as well, unfortunately, which means that the scoreline is going to stay fairly stable at this point. But we saw what happened on the first pick of this game too. It might just happen again. Kielzu have it now, following that up with a miss on the Hard Rock side of the Philippines. And that's once more going to settle a higher combo advantage there for Belgium. With only about 10% of the map remaining, I think they're going to be able to pull this over the finish line this time round. Still holding on to their fairly nice combos. Jesse and Liam's both seemingly full comboing. My Cutie with a miss very late on the map. Doesn't gonna affect the scoreline. 80,000 points in favor of the Belgian team. And they're going to be able to pick up the first break point of this game on this mixed mod pick. They seem to both be very quick at picking their map. So I expect a Belgian pick to be followed up very quickly indeed. Yeah.
That was pretty much instant from Belgium. They're going to go for Hard Rock 2 here. Following up that nice win on Hard Rock 1, which was pretty convincing, honestly. Philippines roster was definitely weak in there, and it's one of their weaker mods looking at their qualifier results. Their strength, it seems like, is going to be actually in that in the DT range possibly, and more hidden. Obviously now that they've exhausted mixed mod, they can't rely on that to play at more even odds with Belgium. They're going to start having to be a little more creative with their picks after this Belgian pick, because right now it looks like they're getting into more control after that breakpoint, going to be wanting to consolidate that win on that win on Mixed Mod 1. So let's see how they go here. Their roster almost staying the same, except for... Oh, wait, no, there's going to be another switch out, actually. Like Cutie remaining in, but El Skefe and Jean... El Skefe comes in, Jean leaves, and Cake Noob also enters.
Yeah, that's much more logical for the Belgian side. I think this is mostly going to be their high AR setup, these three. On the end of the Philippines, I do wonder indeed whether double time might be the way to go from here. It's very usual for the weaker teams to go for the no more picks eventually after they've exhausted all of their own favorite picks. Might be the case too for the Philippines. But looking at their roster, it's definitely not a weak roster, and definitely a roster compatible with a round of 32 map pool. They should be able to play these maps fairly well. Being able to full combo them for sure in practice, and that should be suffice reason for them to try something like double time as well. Then again, Belgium also has a very strong double time roster, so is that something you want to dabble into? Not entirely certain about that. I do believe, however, that the Philippines have at least made up some sort of a game plan in order to tackle this match. That should very much be the case. If not, I would be very surprised. For now, Belgium also having exhausted their hard rock pool. We're going to see some more mods incoming very soon. I wonder if Hidden is also going to be seeing some play today, maybe from the Philippine side. Anyhow, the fourth map is going to start now. Hard rock once more from Belgium. Let's see if they can pull it through once more.
Yep, the hard rock control pick is here, or I guess control slash precision, you could call it, and it's going to be a very slim lead for Belgium yet again, as Potemkin drops some accuracy and Bancho does a little bit of lagging, as it always loves to do at the most annoying parts of the map. At least it's not the end of the map and it's really close, it's at the start, but wow, this is a prolonged Bancho lag here where we're really... Oh, okay, there we go. Everyone is back, and there's been... Wait, did Melwell miss at the start of the map? I think they might have.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell what's happening.
It does still indicate 100% on their end, so that shouldn't be the case. In any case, Kelsey and Potemkin both missing now. This is a bit of a heinous map, really, if you're not good at hard rock control. I'm just very worried about the state of Mawel's laptop, mostly. I really hope he's not going to drop out mid-match. El Skefe there with him is on the Belgium end. But it's hard to tell which team has what amount of points now. I do believe Belgium is going to have a fairly stark lead once Mawel catches up to the others. But it's not going to be as big as 250,000 points as it is indicated now. Well, actually, Mawel keeps on missing quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that lead, despite the sync not being too good here, it's pretty clear I'm pretty sure it's pretty clear to tell that the Belgians have a nice lead for themselves, regardless of the various external factors or internal, you know, with the good old Osu systems at play here. Belgium is going to have a nice lead for themselves, I think, at least. Okay, here we go. Melwell's going to be able to catch up finally and sync with all of the other players.
At least we do hope so. Again, pausing there. It's a very uncertain one, this. So, if you haven't bet your OC coins yet, now's the time. This is mostly betting. Yeah, some confusion going on for the rest of them.
Really, really lagging. I don't even know what's happening at this point.
The match was aborted, seemingly. Mawel are very likely to be offline, so they're gonna have to restart that one. I really do hope that fate hasn't struck Marwell's laptop battery. That would be very unfortunate, but it does seem to be that case, unfortunately. So Philippines is going to have to swap a person out here. It's going to be Liam's getting into the lobby. Very late abort, but these things do happen, obviously. It's unfortunate, but we have to pull through it. We're going to restart that pick now. 4th map of the match here, once more. Belgium not changing their roster. Very logical. Let's see if the performance is going to be more stable now.
Yeah, well, the performance, at least in terms of connectivity, might be more stable, but will it actually play out to the Philippines' benefit now that Mawal is gone? They were there for the Hard Rock 1 picks, and maybe Liam not quite as confident, but Cake Noob is actually going to be the first player to miss here on the side of Belgium, so Philippines will have an early lead for themselves. None of their players have missed so far. Yeah, Liam coming in, despite maybe not being their preferred Hard Rock 3. Still doing a good job so far, but Potemkin does find a miss. Traded by My Cutie, however, so that score lead is still going to maintain a relatively close balance between these two teams right now, but with that miss from Kielzu, the Belgians might finally find a greater lead for themselves here.
Yeah, it's not going to be too great, honestly. The combo difference here between Belgium and Philippines is quite minute still, but they're going to be able to pull up at least 30,000 points ahead, I do believe, which is enough to suffice another miss on their end and still be leading the game. So that's good news for them. Didn't expect anything less from them. Potemkin there with a 2nd or 3rd miss already. Philippines now starting to lag behind a little bit. But there's still plenty of map left. We're about halfway now, and this map does remain quite tricky. There's a couple of jumps which could be considered pixel-ish. Kielzu missing right before that break too, which is heartbreak obviously, because you can see the score difference now as a player, and knowing that you dropped last and that you will have to catch up to another 200 combo in order to maximize your score for your team. That's painful to realize. Liam's also with a very unfortunate miss. Some platter control lacking there.
Oh man, there's another triple miss for the Philippines, and this is just complete disaster for them now. Even with that substitute of Mawal having to leave due to unfortunate conditions, Belgium is completely running away with this regardless, and with those misses just across the board on the Philippines roster, there's really nothing that they can do, and Banto's going to lag once again, because of course it is right as the map is about to end, but I think we all know the result regardless of any syncing or Banto issues. Belgium is going to take their Hard Rock 2 pick finally after some delays. They've brought it home with a very nice lead in the end, all the way above 150,000 score, and a nice... Is that an FC? It's almost an FC from Cake Noob because they missed right at the very start of the map, but still a fantastic score nonetheless. And there we go, Belgium takes it in the end by... well, actually, I don't know.
Well, we still have to.
I don't know.
We wouldn't know. by a couple of points at least. We can't quite see it on stream, but at least the chat is going to resume. Actually, they're all still waiting for Potemkin, meaning that they might have disconnected as well. Hopefully not.
Oh, no.
Regardless, though, I don't think Potemkin can gather enough points to put Philippines back in the lead, considering they only have like a couple of seconds left on the map. I don't think they can.
Yeah,
anyway,
I think there's like
rough
a
conditions.
nationwide storm in the Philippines right now, so it's just like maybe affecting their internet or something like that, because it seems like more than just an individual problem. So unfortunate conditions occurring for this match, which is just, you never want to see something like that, but unfortunately just stuff like that does occur, and there isn't much you can do about it. Where hopefully they are all okay, and we can continue this match here. Belgium now with a great 3-1 lead. It's going to be difficult for the Philippines, especially considering their circumstances as well. But let's see. Oh, it's actually going to be a bit more of a delayed. Wait, maybe
A restart,
I don't even know
maybe?
what's happening anymore.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Players
wait and
all
see.
over the
A quick
place, even
Google
on the
at
Belgian
least.
side.
Yeah, a quick Google at least gives us some news about the fact that there's indeed a storm going on, a tropical storm going on in the Philippines right now called Agon. Quite a heavy storm, so that could be the reason for some of the disconnects, the power outages, and that is just incredibly rough, especially in days like these. So I hope that everybody is safe and well over there. At least let's hope for that. Regardless, we're gonna have to wait now. It seems that somehow, yeah, okay, the map did not get picked up proper by Bancho, so only Liam's and Kills's scores got submitted for some reason.
What is going on? This is unprecedented. This is crazy. Yeah. None of the Belgian players submitted their scores.
Yeah. Like, looking at the score of Liam's, it shouldn't be possible for the Philippines to have caught up to Belgium. There should be about a 50,000-ish point difference between the two teams, but the Belgians didn't get to submit their scores. So I'm actually not quite sure what protocol is here. That is really
I'm lost.
quirky.
I've never seen this before. At least not
neither.
in a tournament of this caliber. I have not seen something like this happen. Yeah, this is very, very strange. Very, very strange.
We're going to continue
Okay,
anyway.
Belgium,
Yeah.
it's still 3-1 for Belgium. They do take the point regardless. I mean, they 100% won that point. I mean, we could all see it. There's no way the Philippines could have possibly won. So Belgium take it 3-1. No technical difficulties will affect that result, and it's going to be Philippines to pick, and probably going to see a hidden 2 pick, I would say here, maybe, or possibly maybe from the double time pool, maybe DT1 or DT3. I'm not too sure.
And you're quite set on DT. Why would that be exactly? Well, there is one DT map which is mapped by both Filipino mappers, being Crowley and Rusty. So at least you have that going on for them. Maybe they come again
in qualifiers. It's just because they performed a little better on the DT pool than the rest of the pools, except for the outlier of Hidden 2 in qualifiers. So maybe they're a bit more comfortable on that. But with Mawile out, it could be something completely different. I'm honestly not too sure.
Yeah, I mean, the first double time pick is actually a Philippines song, so it's nice to at least play. Considering I would definitely also play a Dutch map if there were to be a Dutch map in the map pool, right? I mean, obviously. So maybe that's a nice pick to just go ahead and put in. But again, the internet issues might be making it pretty rough for the Philippines to pick a map at all. So they are being asked to pick right about now because the time seems to be running out. Each team gets about 2 minutes to pick. They have about 15 seconds left, and after that time, a random pick is ensued. I'm pretty sure it's going to be normal after all.
But I guess it does make sense considering their unique circumstances right now. Maybe with while out, possibly not feeling as confident on Hidden or DT. We did see that Liam was the hidden player for their mix mod, but regardless, if you don't have your 3 for that low AR hidden, then it's just simply not going to work. So I guess this is more of a safety pick for the Philippines, where they feel like they can still put up some strong scores on a map that I feel like they can perform honestly pretty well, and this honestly isn't too difficult of a no mod 2. I feel like they can put it up to Belgium quite well.
Yeah, It's been a age-old strategy for the weaker teams to just go with the flow, pick the no mod maps every time they are faced with a stronger opponent. It just makes sense, really. No mod is the one mod that most people play, so the difference between the best players in the world and the ones that are also really good but not quite top level, the difference in skill is gonna be lower on no mod than on the other mods most of the time. You will see bigger differences in like hard rock or double time skill between those types of players. So it's just a very obvious choice if you are put into a corner. The Philippines have ran out of mixed mod options. There's only 2, so this is then the way to go. No double time to be seen here, but that seems to be logical considering the Belgian roster also being a very solid double time roster. So you might not want to dabble into it too much. I think they've done their research proper. Now we just hope and wait that all of the Philippine players are able to attend this map, are able to join the lobby. They're slowly getting back into it.
Isla's actually going to come in for her very first point here. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it definitely is. So it's going to be interesting to see how Isla does here. Or Isla, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I mispronounce anything. I'm bad with pronunciations, and I think Emenoir is also going to come in for the first time for Belgium as well. So some new players on both sides for both rosters going to be entering the field for No Mod 2, and there's the MP start timer from iDown. We're finally getting into this after some unprecedented delays. No Mod 2 from the Philippines. Can they take another point against this really strong Belgium squad? Only time will tell. And yet again, we have syncing issues. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, we just have to wait and be patient here. Really nothing else we can do. And also, more importantly, I hope everybody's safe over there. It seems to be quite rough circumstances there in the Philippines. So let us hope that Kielzu is able to connect once more. It seems they have abandoned the map once again to wait for all the players to get ready. They might have to swap them out. It's really unfortunate situation over there right now, but all we can do is have a bit of patience, and I think that we all are capable of doing at least that.
Yep, absolutely. Everyone else loading in, yeah, just except for Kielzu there, which is not what we like to see. Okay, we're sorting out some mechanisms to communicate with the players properly and to get everyone into the lobby effectively. Yeah, this is not very good. This is just unfortunate, man. It's just really not what you'd like to see at all. So
yeah, it seems the kills are also timed out just now. That also happens when you disconnect or have very slow internet and you keep on sending messages. They all then appear at just a single instant, and then the bot silences you for sending too many messages in too short amounts of time, which is obviously not intended. But it does happen every so often, and that has to get fixed as well. That seemed to be the case there for Kielzu.
Here we go.
Yeah, I really do hope we are going to get started now for all these players. Let's wait and see. Yeah, okay, there we go.
Woohoo!
Perfect.
We're in after one of the longest delays between points ever, maybe.
Yeah, it's finally boss time.
Oh, that was great. I liked that part. That was
You're welcome. Okay.
And no misses out of the gates either, so all of the players holding strong right now. And yeah, no misses so far. It's going to be completely dead even. Not even a single accuracy drop. It's pretty... oh wow, actually Amenemwa is going to be the first drop here on the side of Belgium. So Philippines getting one of their first leads in a while.
Correct, yeah, they are gonna have to shake off the tourney nerves real quick, and that's what they're doing right about now. It's their first map of the match so far, Amenemwa that is. Philippines are holding on to for the combo now. Even despite all these circumstances over there, which is certainly impressive. That's going to secure a lead for now. 40,000 points. We're about halfway through the map.
Yep, here's the break as well. The players get to take a look at each other and see what there is left to be done. Philippines know that their only job is to hold on to that combo for dear life. Hoping to go against the momentum here right now after Belgium has been completely dominant. They've won 2 points in a row, hoping to get their third, but right now the Philippines are looking really strong on this No Mod 2 pick. It's playing out to perfection for them right now. No misses coming down whatsoever, and Amenemwa drops yet again. That lead for the Philippines is going to grow even further past 60,000 score. 70,000 now, and less than a quarter of the map left to go. This is looking more and more promising for the Philippines to take it and to get their second point. Isla finally finds a drop, but they're going to need more than that, the Belgians here. They're going to need another couple misses if they want to come back, and there's just not enough time. Philippines are going to be able to take it.
Does seem to be the case indeed. There's only a couple of seconds left now, and the hardest part has finished already. This is just the outro of the map, and that's the final spinner, I'm pretty sure. Philippines picking up a point despite these circumstances with 45,000 points in their favor. Well played there. A lot of full combos too. Only Amenemwa and Isla dropping a couple of notes, but Amenemwa dropping more. That just secures a second point for the Philippines. Belgium, however, really quick to trigger a next pick there with double time one, actually picking the Filipino song. And Cake Noob, having been removed from the tourney server, is going to be moving in again, which is very obvious once picking double time. It's one of the better double time players in Belgium, maybe the best, honestly. And they're just really quick to gather their thoughts and gather their members in the lobby every single time. Seems that Belgium came prepared, and I hope that the Philippines also has a counter plan for picks like double time. Again, you actually predicted them to play pretty well because of the qualifier results, which could maybe result in a close game once more, don't you think?
Yep, I hope so. I definitely always hope for a close battle in every single match, of course, in every single point. Hasn't played out like that for a few points here, but actually quite a lot of them have been pretty down to the wire, so I hope the double time provides that yet again. Just going to be the maybe they get a Philippines pop, a PH pop or P pop. However, I'm not actually sure what the correct acronym is, to be honest.
I can't tell you either, really.
a PH pop buff here, the Philippines players. But only time will tell, of course. And yeah, it's still Belgium with a lot of confidence, I think. Maybe all teams kind of disrupted a little bit. Maybe Belgium even more than the Philippines, despite their adversary circumstances just maybe shaken up by how long they had to wait between points. And yeah, No Mod 2 just didn't play out probably quite as well as they wanted to, especially for Amenemwa, who came in for the first time. It was actually those two players, Isla and Amenemwa, who really held back their team more than the other, but in the end, just a couple more misses that took that No Mod 2 for the Philippines. Let's see if they can now switch the momentum around and win 2 points in a row of their own on double time one.
Yeah, actually, Cake was unable to join the lobby just now, so Yessa is going to be playing instead. Will that hinder their performance? Maybe. Will that give Philippines a chance? Maybe. This could be a lot closer than we have anticipated for. Let us see. That's going to be the 6th map now. Salamine. It's a bit of a consistency pick. It's the longest double time pick of the pool, I'm pretty sure. So really, just nerve control. You can miss very often if you don't have nice platter control, and Kielzu is actually going to be the initial miss here for the Philippines. At least they're back in the lobby, and now we march forward.
Yep, only a single miss coming down from any of these players so far, and it's going to be Kielzu, which is also going to give Belgium a nice early lead to start off their pick here. Kielzu drops once again, and that's only going to mean one thing, an increase to the score lead for Belgium. All of their players still holding on to those double S's, and oh, there's a double miss on the Philippines as well. Potemkin dropping their FC as well. Now it's only Liam GG's who's holding on to that FC on the Filipino side. Finally, Jesse does find the first miss on the side of Belgium, but still their lead with the miss from Kielzu again is going to keep increasing.
My Cutie and Kielzu also both dropped, but Kielzu is really struggling on this one, not having a good time at all. Another miss will just solidify the Belgian lead further, and they are lacking about 100,000 points behind their teammates too, which doesn't bode too well, especially considering Elskef is still holding on to a full combo. Liam is doing their absolute hardest to try and match that, playing DT hidden even, but as it stands, 100,000 points of difference is a fairly big hurdle to jump over. Elskef's miss might just open the door a little bit, however, for the Philippines.
Yep, that's going to give them a small window of opportunity to take this point back, but only if they can hold on, and they're not doing it right now. Potemkin finds another miss, and the Belgian players, despite that drop from Elskefe, are going to maintain that lead, and with the miss from Liam GG's, it's basically GG for the Philippines. There's nothing that they can do now, as Belgium is going to completely run away with it on this DT1 pick. They are now going to be on match point. Luckily for the Philippines, it is going to be on their pick, so they're really going to have to go back to the drawing board and draw up a master plan in order to save themselves from what looks like a very certain Belgium win right now. I mean, they have all the cards in their hand, I feel like, and Philippines is really on the back foot right now.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're going to have to win 3 points in a row, including the tiebreaker, if they were to win this entire match. They've done quite well so far, honestly. Their next pick might still be something they can win. Absolutely, at least their confidence shouldn't spike too much. They're going to go for another Nomad pick. This one is really tricky any other way. It's a convert, this one. Not a specialty of any of these players, I do think. So, quite uncharacteristic to see this in play. But it's maybe a bit of a last resort plan, really. Nothing to lose here. You gotta win 3 times in a row. You gotta surprise the Belgian team somewhat. And Belgium's going to pick the next map after this too. So going from a convert back to double time, if they were to, that is a fairly rough switch in gameplay as well. It's just a bit of a discontinuity there, making it maybe a little bit harder for the Belgians to capitalize on their own picks in the future. Maybe that's just too much thinking put into it. I'm not entirely certain, but there's things that people think, and there's plans that people make, which can be very, well, just specialized and maybe aesthetic even. I'm not entirely sure. I just went on a tangent there. Let's just go with the map.
Okay. In any case, we are in, and it's going to be an early Belgian lead yet again. Liam and Isla both finding misses. Liam right on, I think, maybe the very first node or two of the map. Isla following it up with a miss of her own, and it's going to be, yep, that Belgium team, so solid, going to have another strong lead for themselves. No drops whatsoever. Only a single droplet miss, maybe from Elskefe, but it's not going to affect the result too much, at least right now. Isla finally gets back up to 200 combos, so it's going to entirely stop the bleeding as we wait for the next play to miss, and it's actually going to be a double miss from Belgium, which gives Philippine a whole new breath of life right now. That lead suddenly dropping all the way down, almost goes back, but with the miss from Kielzu, going to just maintain in Belgium's favor, but Philippines can smell the score lead right now. They know, well, they don't know, but we know that they have a ability to take it back. And now they're going to know in this break. Oh, actually, it's not. I for some reason,
there's no breaks here. Yeah, yeah, it's tricky. I always get tricked into it as well. Kelsey and my cutie both missing on this part, though. This is like, oh, very tricky with that jump over there. Elskefa's going to miss too, meaning that the Philippines now will actually take over the score lead, as you can see. Well done by both Isla and Liam for holding on there. It's a tricky map, I told you, and if they were to press on, they could very well force a tiebreaker after realizing a third point. They will still have to win Belgium's pick. We're talking about future potentials only, but this is looking pretty good for the Philippines.
Yep, right now they have a great lead, and my cutie is going to, follow that up yet again with a miss of their own, but there's a double miss from the Philippines, and suddenly their advantage is slipping away from them as Isla drops yet again. Now the Belgian players, it's their turn to hold on and take the lead in the dying seconds of the map. There's barely any time left to go, and that is going to be it. Belgium, at the last moment, the double miss from Philippines, just unfortunately for them, it has really not been their day, and it ends in heartbreak as Belgium takes it 5-2. A great performance really across the board, honestly, there, keeping it super close all the way until the end. Look at that score from Liam, the highest in the entire lobby, but just was not able to do quite enough. Kielzu lagging behind maybe just a little bit too much compared to the rest of the players. And there we go, Belgium, your winners, ladies and gentlemen. They are going through to the round of 16 winners bracket.
Yeah, well played to both teams there. That just swapped over very rapidly at the end of the map. That's just the way the OC Catch plays after all. Well done by Belgium for holding on there in the end. And very unfortunate to see Philippines go like this. I do wonder if the circumstances also did affect their gameplay. I at least assume that it did somewhat, which is really unfortunate. But well played nonetheless. They picked up a couple of nice points. Gave Belgium a run for their money for sure. And we'll be seeing both teams against next week. We'll see them in losers bracket, the Philippines, and we'll see Belgium advancing onto a round of 16 in the winners bracket still. Well played to both of them, and that was very entertaining to watch, despite all of the technical difficulties we had. So, well done to both teams.
Yep, absolutely, and that is going to be it for that match now. Another one has been completed as we look ahead to the bracket. It's going to be Taiwan versus Germany for the next match in about 2 hours from now at 12 UTC, so definitely tune in for that one. But as for now, we are going to be taking our leave for a little bit, but make sure to stay tuned. And actually, I'm going to mention quickly to check, because I keep forgetting every single one. I'm going to say it this time.
Here it comes.
To check out the banners on the OC website. Go support your favorite team. It's really not too much of an expense, honestly, and it shows your support for the game and for that team. So make sure to go check those out. They look really cool on your profile. Yeah, well, that's I guess that's about it. That's really all I wanted to say. Anything you want to add, Sartan?
Yeah, buy banners. They look good. They look really good. They do. All teams are still in the tournament as well. At least, well, 4 teams dropped out after the qualifier stage, but there's still plenty of teams left, and there's certainly a team left which you probably support. So if you do want to show your support even more than your average person, you might want to consider buying those banners too. They look pretty good. They're pretty neat. And yeah, we'll be taking a break for about 2 hours. We have very many matches upcoming in the coming 8 hours. So you want to stay tuned for all of those. Fun games, some close ones still are very likely. We're going to see some very big teams in action today too. Poland and USA, for example. So you might want to look forward to that.
Yep, but that's going to be it for now. Thank you all for watching. I've been Mato, joined by Sartan, and we will see you all soon.
Yeah, see you in a bit.